name is Collins Balozi and this is the Touchline Take. Welcome back to yet another video. If you find this helpful, please go ahead and leave a like, subscribe and turn on post notifications so that you get notified before we upload. Now, looking forward to match day 3, there will be a few matches that we'll be looking at, starting from Saturday, where Chelsea are going to be welcoming Fulham in the kickoff for match day 3. That will be on Saturday. We're looking forward to seeing another rampant display from Chelsea, considering that Fulham are always a tough fixture for them. We've seen that in the past, but this won't really stop Chelsea from getting maximum points from that match. Only that now they'll be facing another kind of opponent that is willing to go and scrap for the loose balls, having midfield runners who are willing to try and take the ball from the opponents. So it's not going to be quite a straightforward match as it was for them back in London, back in last week when they played West Ham United. So another different kind of fixture, just a bit more tough for them, but you're going to see how that will pan out. But I think from what we've seen in the past, Chelsea will just have enough to go through in that match. But again, Fulham will give them a proper test. So as this time goes by, we get to see teams getting to their full belt, and this is going to be curtailed a bit with the international break. But again, this has to be done, and just before you get into the break, you're going to see a proper test for Chelsea and see how they cope up with that. Maybe it will be stale like it was for them against Crystal Palace in their previous home match, but you expect that not to be the case, because now both teams have had a good chunk of football. So looking forward to seeing a good match from that one. Then this will be followed with Manchester United also playing. Now they'll be looking to get out of the slump that they've put themselves in by trying to go and win their match. So I'm looking forward to that one as well. Maybe now the talking is not done in the press conferences, and now the football actually pays off, because it doesn't matter how many chances you create. If you don't take them, then you don't score. And in a game of football, it's always determined with the goals that you score. So if you don't score, you don't win the match. It doesn't matter how good you play. And then later on, we'll be seeing a Spurs take on Bournemouth, which is also going to be a test encounter to look at. Spurs are in prime position. They are looking very well. They are in form, but Bournemouth as well as are a team that can cause any other team trouble. So looking forward to seeing how Spurs will parry their attack, how they are going to keep Bournemouth at bay, because it's going to be an end-to-end match with a team that is both teams that are good in transition. So they'll be looking to capitalize on mistakes that the other makes, and it's a really good match to watch that one if both teams go at it on Saturday. So looking forward to that one as well. And then now Brighton will also be facing Manchester City, who are licking their wounds and traveling away from home to go to the Amex. Time before, City have always been good. They've always dispatched opponents, and again, Brighton have always been on their kill radar for quite a while. As much as they did get a one-off win against them last season was not a season that you could characterize this Pep's team with only that one season. But again, even moving on to this season, there has been a lot of personnel change, so it's a bit of a transition for the whole team. So maybe the heroes of the past will not be the heroes of these kinds of fixtures, these seasons going forward, because again, they're getting older, others are leaving the club. So we need to get to see the new look of this team to be able to make conclusive predictions about how this team is going to compete against the other opponents that they have faced in the past. Because looking at this website, there are only few people who are even in the starting lineup now that have been multiple Premier League winners, and most of them, some of them like Phil Foden and Rodri, are injured. So their integration into the team is taking quite some time, and it's always unlucky when a player is fit, they come play for a match, then get injured again. So they get back to that rehabilitation process again. So this City side does not have quite players who we could say that these are the players that have been playing here for a while. These are the players that this team wants, that Pep wants to use for the long run. And the introduction of the new players, they are trying their best to try and give their performances to the standard that City accepts. So yeah, looking forward to seeing how they will compete against Brighton. The Brighton side, which is not very much changed from last season, despite having one point in 2 matches. They lost to Everton at Harry Dickinson Stadium. They have their new stadium, but again, we want to see if this continues more into the season, if they're going to have a bad run, or they're going to rekindle their fluidity of the past under Fabian Hansel. So yeah, we'll see how that one goes, and that would only be, a pre-game for the actual match between the champions and the runners-up from last season, Liverpool against Arsenal at the Anfield. It is a big game that has come quite early, but all the same, the Premier League moves on quickly. It's what you get when you get it. You savor what you see whenever it comes. So Liverpool, who have been winning matches by the skin of their teeth, will be facing Arsenal, who have dispatched opponents, so to speak, by some level of comfort in their matches. So we are going to see whether comfort and resilience are going to clash in that match. And again, it's Anfield, it's home to the champions, and they'll want to cement their status as defending champions. They'll be going for it again. So they want to show the world and show their other opponents that there is a reason as to why this trophy came to us this previous season, and we are going to show you why we want it to stay. So it's going to be more than just a football match. There will be a lot involved. There will be, ego, maybe from the Arsenal side, because again, Mikel has become sort of a manager who also, starts his matches in the press conferences. So yeah, we'll see how the build up to that will be. But again, we are hoping to see a good match, not a stale match, because even in the past few seasons that they've met each other, it's always been a close call. There have been really competitive sides together. When they come together, the ground shakes. There is always action. There's always players playing on the front foot. So we're hoping to see more of the same. But again, this might have come at a good time for Arsenal, because they seem to have their P's and Q's together. They know what they're doing at the minute, which is quite weird to say about Liverpool. But now that they've been winning matches, that should give them confidence, of course. But the patterns of play that they implemented last season, and that which they would want to continue to implement now, even with the new players, has not quite caught on. So yeah, we are going to see if the quality that they have now is going to withstand this level of opponent. They did dispatch Newcastle last week, but again, that early in the week, sorry, but again, that would have been a very different story if Alexander Isak was in that side. From the chances that they created, they would have capitalized far better when they had a target man inside there. They might even have scored 4 or 5, who knows. But again, that didn't happen, so I guess we'll never know. But now they will need to show real mettle as they welcome Arsenal in this big fixture. So looking forward to those fixtures as well. See you at the end of the game week as we try to analyze how the matches went and hopefully see you in the next one.